a Thursday night around, I don't know, somewhere around 10 o'clock Eastern. You got Jason, you got Kevin, and we're here to talk about some pro wrestling. If you want to follow along with our show, you can do so in a few different ways. You can find our podcast, the audio version, on any of your favorite podcast apps. Make sure you subscribe. We go live on YouTube, so you can watch us there, or you can go back to youtube.com, just search Gimmick Minute, and you can watch the episode back after the fact. Or you can find us on Spotify. But anyway, or find us on X at Live Your Gimmick. But Kevin, what's up, man? How you doing? I can hear you. Kevin has upgraded. Oh, you're getting choppy again, but we'll see what happens. We'll just soldier through and see. We'll fix it in post, as they say, or I'll just post it how it is, and people will just deal. But anyway, um, yeah, man. So I am. Oh yeah, it says 0% uploaded for you. Oh geez. All right. Well, this is gonna be fun. um. So. Oh, dude. You're breaking up now. It's bad. Oh boy. I'm sorry. Now you're just staring at me awkwardly.
No, I'm here. I just
That I heard. That came through just fine. So it's starting to show that you're uploading a little bit, so that's good. So hey, we'll get there. But hey,
it's just once in a while it'll say internet connection not connecting or something. I don't know. So
okay,
let's
maybe
get
when
through
that
this real
happens,
quick. Let's go. Hurry.
yeah, maybe when that happens, just hold your hand up, and then I'll know to keep talking for a while until you kind of click back in.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so really off the bat today, it was release day this past week in WWE. Looks like May 2nd, I think, as we're recording this. Um, a bunch of talent was released, and there was a few surprises on the list. I think maybe when you look at it, maybe some of them were not as surprising as you might think they are. A lot of people shocked about Braun Strowman. Cora Jade was another one that's been kind of a hot button. Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance. So that entire tag team. Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne, Jakira Jackson, which kind of surprised me because they used her a lot. Or Mensa, and then a couple people, or one guy, or Javier Bernal. I don't really know him. And then the entire Gallus boys, Danny Palmer, and then Shotzi was released. Out of out of all those people, Kevin, who's somebody that you're like, damn, why couldn't they have made it work with that person?
Uh, or Jade.
I would agree with Core Jade. Yeah, I would definitely agree with Core Jade.
I today is Ron was, and I guess Bill came out and said I guess fit Alice that
You're
paralysis
you're
leg.
breaking up on paralysis in his leg. Is that what you're saying? You may have to come back on your phone.
Just text everything I want.
At this rate, you'd be better off just writing it down and holding it up to the
What I
camera.
say.
What's
I'll
that?
just text you every Kevin. I'll just text you every
Uh,
one.
or you might
Wait,
just have to drop off the.
for a little
You might have to drop off the
leave.
computer and come back on your phone.
All right, let me 1 second.
All right. So while Kevin is figuring out his shit, I'll just kind of talk a little bit. Um, I, I I think he was talking about something with Braun Strowman, possibly some paralysis in his leg. So we'll wait till he gets back on and has a stable connection to dive into that a little bit more. Um, But yeah, some of these names definitely are a little bit surprising. I think I'm a little surprised honestly with Gallus personally because I think the Coffee Brothers along with Wolfgang presented an interesting faction. Hey, you're back. Welcome back.
I'm trying. I'm giving it one more try. Then if not, I'll leave again and then
Okay. So what were you saying
attack
about
somebody
Braun
else.
Strowman, quick?
I guess he has 15% paralysis in his leg, so they kind of temporarily
Okay.
released him, and that maybe three
Okay.
four months down the road they'll bring him back.
Okay. So I'm guessing that has to do with his neck surgery that he had.
I'm guessing so. Yes.
Okay. Because you could there was a very noticeable difference when he came back. When Braun first got rehired by the company, dude, he looked freaking amazing when he was wearing those like red ripped jeans, and he was freaking ripped to the gills, and you know complete with the nipple piercings, all that. I mean, he had the shaved bald head with the beard, like he looked great. And he was on a tear until he had that neck injury, then he had the neck surgery. And yeah, I mean, noticeably since he's been back, he's slower. Like when he does that Strowman Express thing where he runs around the ring, you could tell. Like a lot of people actually thought he had a knee injury because of how labored he was trying to run around. He put a ton of weight back on. He just did not look like the same guy at all. So that makes a lot more sense hearing that.
Yeah. So it sounds like a kind of a mutual thing, and I think they're still probably paying him, or they have like like game severance or whatever,
Hmm.
kind of as hey, well, I guess he was really highly paid, and that was another reason why he was kind of overly paid. But I
Yeah.
guess they had a pretty much a mutual understanding, mutual agreement as far as um, the whole release, and they
Yeah.
basically said, "Hey, once you're healthy, you know, we can bring you back, and he might just be like limited dates here and there, kind of
Okay.
an attraction."
Yeah, and that makes sense. And for a guy like him, that's what he should be too. You know what I mean? But I just hope he gets healthy and he gets to the point where he has more function back in his leg because, dude, especially for a guy his size, like you can't be wrestling like that. That's not safe for you. That's not safe for the people that you're in the ring with. Like it's probably best that he takes a back seat for a while. But I'm with you, man. Cora Jade is somebody that definitely shows a lot of potential. I think with her though, and just based off of what we've seen from her in her tenure in WWE and then her tenure and basically what's happened since she's left. I think maybe maturity might be a little bit of an issue with her, and maybe that might have led to her release. Does that ring
Yeah,
true for you?
probably. That'd be my guess too. But I mean, outside of that, I'm trying to think of like honestly, Shayna Baszler, I'm actually not surprised by, just because she's kind of fallen off. So I'm not terribly surprised by that one.
Vince basically just NXT. They tried to rebuild it with the whole thing with Ronda, and doing something else or going on a run in like TNA or doing an independent run or even doing like blood sports or whatever, even maybe doing something MMA related, and then building her name back up and coming back again down the road. Like I could see Shayna Baszler being, she did maybe
Yeah.
maybe she just needed to step away from the audience, the WWE audience, for a little bit to come back and recapture that badass that she was before.
Yeah, I can see that.
Gigi Dolan's one, or Priscilla Kelly, that one surprises me. I've always liked her. I thought she did a great job in NXT. I know she had some injury issues, or she was on TV, off TV a little bit, but that one really did kind of shock me a little bit. Like I thought that she's somebody that could have gone up to the main roster and actually done something when she got there.
Yeah, I guess that'd be probably the other one. I forgot. I don't have the full list. I think you texted it to me in front of me, but yeah, that'd be another one. Um, Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, Caden Carter, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne, Katana Chance. Shakira Jackson, Ora Mensa, Javier Bernal, and then the Gallus boys, Danny Palmer and Shotzi.
Yeah. I mean, it's that time of the year, and it's yeah, a couple shocks, but really like nothing crazy.
Yeah. And what's the alternative? These guys sit in catering or don't get used on TV and aren't able to go work anywhere else or make a name for themselves anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like I think releasing them rather than holding on to them is the better way to go. And at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? Like,
And
um,
and the expansion with Triple A and the relationship with A, you know what I mean? They could
yeah,
sure would help them out find spots or whatever. Especially if if those two companies expand. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, I totally can see Dakota Kai or Shayna Baszler or even Gigi Dolan going to TNA and having an impact there. Shotzi even is another one. I
No
could
pun.
totally. What's that?
No
Oh, no
pun.
pun intended. You're funny. You're a funny guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Unstable
speaking of,
interconnection.
what's that? You broke up a little bit.
Yeah, that unstable connection.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is fitting because Cora Jade has already teased her OnlyFans account, so apparently she's going to be joining that circus. But again, that's where her head's at. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think that might be part of the reason why. But yeah, and then of course we had some people that returned in to your point, you got Rusev, you got Aleister Black, you got the people coming over from AAA that apparently they have another relationship with Del Rio. I don't know if that means he's contracted to WWE or if he's still just going to be a part of the AAA thing. So there's going to be some people that are definitely coming over from there, but I've been going through grad school, right? And I'm going through the Jack Welch Management Institute. And for anybody unfamiliar, Jack Welch was a CEO for GE for a lot of years, and he has this philosophy where basically you have your top 20% of your A plus talent that they get everything that you can give them. You want to put your best efforts into rewarding that top 20%. Then you have your core 70% of like just the people that are indispensable to your company. And you want to put like your training and resources into trying to move those 70% to the 20, to that top 20. But then you have your bottom 10% that you just got to get rid of at the end of the year. And I think that's kind of the philosophy that they apply here. Like they look at their roster and they see, okay, these are our bottom 10.
Breaking up on.
Did I lose you on that? Did you hear all that?
I hear a little bit. You can.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. Oh, so I was saying Jack Welch has his philosophy. You got the top
yeah.
20%, you got the middle
Sorry.
70%, the bottom 10%. Yeah, so I'm just identifying the people that were cut. That's the bottom 10%, right? So if you're looking at the roster, that's the bottom 10%.
Yes.
You get rid of them, make way for attrition. Like that's just how business works. It's a business. WWE is a business. Nothing about that is personal. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to leave and come back. We can't have a conversation.
All right. You talk for a little bit. I'll leave. Let me go get my iPad and let's see if that works better.
Okay,
I tried.
I'll fill time for you.
You talk for a little bit. All right. Thanks. Be back.
All right. Goodbye, sir.
To all my fans, please don't leave. Please don't stop listening. I will be back. Okay, I promise you.
Yeah, to the two fans that are here waiting just to hear Kevin, uh, he will be back. I promise. Oh my gosh! All right, so little backstory: Kevin just switched internet providers, and where he lives does not have the greatest internet. They have decent download speeds, but not very good upload speeds. And unfortunately, when you're podcasting, it does require an upload speed because you're uploading your image into the internet, into the ether. So unfortunately, without his upload speed being the greatest, he's tried some different things to boost it and to get it better, but he's trying to record on a laptop so he has a better image quality and it looks overall maybe a little bit more professional. But unfortunately, the upload speed for his internet isn't very good at supporting that laptop, so he's having some issues. So I apologize. WWE releases, talking about the top, the bottom 10% that got released. So I'm curious what thoughts anybody listening has. You can reach out to us on X at Live Your Gimmick. That's the at symbol followed by LIVYOURGIMMICK. You can also reach out to us via, however you listen or watch the show, and leave a comment. And any of those comments will come to us. We'll be able to see them, and we can talk about it, have a conversation about it. But the way I look at it, the wrestling business is a business, whether it's WWE, AEW, or anything like that. It's business, and I know as fans, we get attached to these performers. Maybe we see something in them that WWE doesn't, or we see a part of ourselves in them in a way. And it does suck when you see them get released, especially when you see somebody like a Shayna Baszler, who at one point had a ton of potential and could have easily carried that potential onto the main roster. But then when you like really kind of break it down, she wasn't the greatest promo at all. And the few times that they tried to really give her the ball, especially on the main roster, I think her promo skills left a lot to be desired. And maybe the character or the promo is something that she could work on a little bit. Is she a badass in the ring? 100%. Could she choke me out in an instant? 100%. Could she probably destroy half of the women on that roster pretty quickly? Yeah, she definitely could. But in WWE, it's more than just the in-ring. It's also the character, right? You have to make people care to see you do those things. And if you have trouble connecting with the audience and getting them to care, well, then you have an instance with a Shayna Baszler where, yeah, unfortunately, we got to let you go for a little bit. But, down the road, she could come back. Cora Jade, to me, it just seems like she's young, maybe a little bit immature, maybe cares about the wrong things. She's had a lot of injury issues. Also took a lot of time off for some personal enhancements. Which that's her prerogative. That's what she wants to do. Totally fine. But sometimes when you take yourself off of TV for a while, other people step up and make themselves more valuable, and that's kind of the risk that you take. I mean, look at the rise that her and Roxanne Perez started about the same time. Roxanne Perez never took that time off, and look where she went, where, Cora was on again, off again, on TV, off TV, and never quite made it to that level. And then you had other people in the meantime, like a Jada Parker or Lola Vice, step up, and that kind of pushes Cora Jade further and further down that card. And, it sucks, but it is what it is. I wasn't as surprised with Katana Chance as I was with Kayden Carter. I think Kayden Carter can, on her own, could be, I think, a little bit more of a star. I think Katana Chance, while I like her and I think she's a lot of fun to watch, Casey Catanzaro, I think is her real name. I mean, she's incredibly athletic, but she's so small, so small. Like, there's no way she could be a believable single star. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say no way, but on top of being height, I mean, she's rail thin. Like, she just, with a lot of the women, especially on the main roster, it's hard to like look at her and be like, oh yeah, she could 100%, kick somebody's ass. But now she could do some really cool creative things in the ring, and especially Royal Rumbles and things like that. She had a ton of moments, which was cool. But I can totally see a reason why though she isn't with the company, but Caden Carter did surprise me a little bit more. You're back.
I'm back.
Welcome. All right. So I was continuing to talk a little bit more in detail about what I felt about some of the releases. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, sorry my video's all glitchy. I apologize. Especially you. I've tried so hard.
I know. It's okay.
To be better.
We'll figure it out one of these days.
I think it's honestly it's gotta be my internet.
Yeah, it's probably the upload speeds with the internet. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because even now, like, I can hear you, and I'm not like I got service and everything, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
I get it. We'll figure it out one of these days. So I went in a little bit more detail on some of the releases, but we don't need to rehash that. But I think before you cut out, I was asking if you got a chance to watch Monday Night Raw on Netflix this past week.
So I got because some of this week was a blur for me.
Yeah,
I saw the main event for sure.
Okay.
I watched it. I actually I got pretty tired. Probably left after 9. I actually went upstairs and I turned Netflix on my phone, and so I kind of just had my headphones in, had the phone to the side of my bed, and was watching it. I started falling asleep, but I still had the audio on. But like I dozed off, but then I woke up like the last 15 minutes of that match or whatever. That was to me, God, what a hell of a match.
Yeah.
And normally, I hate the false finishes. The false finishes, kicking out big time finishers, and all this and that and everything. It does get annoying. But for a title match on let's say, and not TV, but like weekly television show, basically.
Yeah, it was the first time in I think 7 months the title was defended on Monday Night Raw. I think they said.
Yeah. And I was fine with all those false finishes because it got to a point where I was like, how the fuck's anybody going to win this match?
Yeah.
And so, and some people were like didn't like how it ended because they were like, oh, apparently it was a DQ. Well, it wasn't apparent; it was an obvious DQ.
Yeah, but they even said it was a DQ on the announcement.
Right, but come on, you gotta protect both those guys. You know what I mean? Especially Seth jumping into a title match so quickly.
Yeah,
because this helps you keep Seth away from the world title for a little while because he doesn't need to right now. There's other things that need to be dealt with that don't need the world title, and Jay needs to defend that, and he needs to run with it, especially against people that are believable but not so believable he can't be.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
and I totally see a scenario where Seth is going to end up the world champion here pretty soon. And it may be SummerSlam a few months down the road or something like that, but I have a feeling that Jay will eventually lose it to Seth. Just because the way they're building this little faction with them, it just seems apropos that it would be Seth almost becoming Roman Reigns, in a way, like having the faction there to protect him and becoming that champion that he hated Roman for being. I think that'd be an interesting turn of events to see that happen. But man, like the whole night though started off great. I mean, you had Io and Roxanne had a great match. The promo between Jay and Paul Heyman, dude. Paul Heyman's promo was fantastic, and I loved Jay's response. He's like, "Dude, you okay?"
But can we just state the fact of somebody put it out there, and I fucking started dying laughing when I read it. Was like there was a picture of Braun and Paul at ringside, and all they said was, "Jesus Christ, did they just get back from a fucking trip to the sun?" How damn they were.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Is Seth gonna put on the thick spray tan to match them?" I almost
Yeah.
wonder if like Paul and him are doing that on purpose to see like which one of them can, out tan the other or something.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty damn funny.
But the thing that was great about about Heyman's promo was he just you know what I mean, like that's what you've always wanted to hear out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the bastard. I'm the son of a bitch. You know what I mean, like
Yeah.
and just everything about it was the emotion and just like you said with Jason, you're right. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
But and it was perfect too because it was done in a way where he was totally being a heel, but at the same time, you could be like, yeah, I get his point. You know what I mean? Like it's almost that Thanos, thing. Like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, he's trying to kill a bunch of people, but he believes why he did it or why he wants to do it. So in a way, you almost have to see his point. You know what I mean? And you could when he laid that out about the Solo's bloodline put him through the table, and Roman only called him when he needed to put the pieces back together. He didn't do anything to help him, or he only came back for the Ulafala, not to avenge Paul. And you're like, okay, all right, well, you're being a dick about it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, dude, it was very well done, and so that kind of got everything started. And man, dude, the work Karrion Kross has been doing too. Did you see that when he kind of crashed that Raw recap podcast with after, I think it was after WrestleMania, he crashed that recap podcast with Sam Roberts. He sat down at the table and cut that shoot, dude. That was awesome, and everything he's been doing on camera since then has been awesome. I think this is going to be a big year finally for Karrion Kross. Like we're finally going to see him hopefully get elevated up. Sheamus came back, and they're definitely splitting Theory and Waller. Oh, and I thought Seth, oh, geez, my bad. I was talking about his wife, Becky, and Lyra also did a great job of setting up their match for Backlash as well. That was very well done by both, and Lyra held her own with Becky, so I give her credit for that.
Yeah, a little bit of that was good.
So Roxanne and Io had a good match. You got Rusev's in-ring debut. He looked like $1 million fucking dollars. So that was good. And then Pat McAfee, dude, his face-to-face thing with Gunther, like another great promo, like another great moment.
Yeah. Who was it that I heard? I forget who it was, but they said McAfee's promo last week when he stood up, outside on the announce table and did that amazing promo.
Yeah.
They said that was top 20 greatest promos of all time.
Wow. For somebody that's gotten so much heat.
Yeah, it was somebody distinguished too. And I wish I remember off the top of my head, but they're like, that's like top 20, like, and it wasn't like, somebody that's like not, credit. It's not like Ryback or somebody. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good that it wasn't Ryback. Fucking Ryback. Oh man. But yeah. Dude, just overall, and then
it was somebody along the lines of like a Bully Ray or.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would make sense. Like I'm busted open, I could see him saying something like that. But yeah, man, it was really good. And then, like you said, the main event, fantastic match. You got Sami Zayn trying to help out. You got Braun Breaker trying to interfere. And I'll be honest with you, man. The way that it set up, and I know it wasn't nearly as good, but it reminded me a little bit of Foley Rock when DX got involved in the corporation, and then all of a sudden Austin's music hit out of nowhere. The way that the whole thing set up, you had, Sami Zayn come out to get involved, and the crowd got hot, and then there was that whole back and forth with Braun, and then all of a sudden Punk's music hit, dude, and the place went insane. So you can say what you want about, people watching it and being like, oh, I don't like all the false finishes. But when you hear the crowd reaction to how that all played out, I mean, the crowd was in that match the entire time. And when Punk came out, dude, they went fucking nuts.
Jason, off subject, I have to ask you something. If I hook my iPad up right now to my hotspot on my phone, do you think that would help out?
I mean, I guess it potentially could, because then you'll be connecting it to the cell tower. But I don't, with streaming a podcast, I don't know if it would make that much of a difference. Maybe, because there wouldn't be anything else connected to it except for your iPad. So you wouldn't have like the TVs in the house and your refrigerator and whatever other appliances you have connected to it.
Let me go off camera here for a second, and
okay,
we can keep on going. Let me try to. So.
All right. But yeah, I just thought that it was just done really well. So start to finish, I thought Monday Night Raw was just absolutely fantastic. And I have been busy this week, so I have not watched any of NXT. I heard there was some controversy. People online were calling for Jordynne Grace's head to be fired because apparently there's a couple spots with Julia that looked a little rough. I don't know. Did you see any of that? All right. No Kevin. All right. This is either the greatest or worst episode of the Gimmick Minute Wrestling podcast of all time, without a doubt. This one is fun. Do we have we don't have anybody in the live chat? I was gonna say, do we have anybody that wants to join the podcast I can have a conversation with that may not disappear?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Well, you didn't respond to my question, so.
Well, I was trying to connect to the mobile hotspot, and it kind of like glitched for a second. I heard you the whole time.
Okay. All right. So, did you see the?
I don't think it's doing anything.
Did you see the controversy with Jordynne Grace with Julia?
That I did not see. The only thing I saw from NXT was a little bit like Joe Henry. So.
Okay.
I did not see the thing with Jordynne Grace.
So while we're on NXT here for a second, did you see the back and forth between Javon Evans and Ricochet?
No.
So you know how Ricochet likes to pop off on Twitter, right? So this time he popped up and popped off, and Javon Evans decided to kind of go to his level. I'm going to see if I can find the whole back and forth because where I'm at right now is only showing some of Ricochet's tweets and not Javon's. No, wait here. Hold on. So Ricochet began trolling a fan. He said he'd squash Evans in a match. And so, because somebody said Javon is the best young performer or young prospect in wrestling, don't come in my replies talking about some randoms nobody heard of. And then Ricochet said I'd squash him. And then Evans responded, my bad, I just got done training at the Performance Center under Shawn Michaels. Something that something you don't have or do, but I bet you brown egghead ass would squash me if Tony told you to. And then Ricochet fired back, said, brother, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when you were like 12, then went on to become multiple-time champion. Let me know when you win one, little boy. And yeah, if Tony asked me, I'd definitely beat you. I don't even know what that means. God. And then Ricochet continued by saying, also, by simply mentioning my name, this is your most engaged post. You're welcome for the exposure, kid. To which Javon Evans replied, you learned from HBK when I was 12 and became multiple-time champion. Now you're wrestling in front of 2,000 people every week for a crackhead. Talk about an upgrade, am I right?
Oh, my God.
And then he goes, sounds like Mr. Khan isn't giving you enough attention, so you had to come for a successful ass youngin. You're giving me the most views on my post, and I'm finally helping you get the most attention you've ever had in your career. All love. Oh man. But yeah, that's
Speaking of funny tweets with Shawn Michaels, did you see the one where somebody shared a photo of him from Playgirl, the one him in the towel,
yeah.
and she said, "Why can't I find a man like this?" And he tweeted, "Hi," and she said, "No thanks," and he said, "That's literally me." Like that's legit too.
That is fantastic.
But I'm still here. So, but yeah. But because of his profile picture, and she's like, "No thanks," and he's like, "But that's literally me."
Oh my god, that is funny. I mean, he's just a sexy boy. What's going on here?
Sorry.
I'm not trying to join X. I already have an X account. What the fuck? I was trying to log into X because I would just see what you were talking about, and it like is having me set up a new profile. Did I lose the Gimmick Minute profile without knowing? I better not have. Don't take away my Gimmick Minute.
You haven't really trolled anybody in a while, so.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, I've posted some stuff, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So moving on. But yeah, Monday Night Raw was good. I didn't, like I said, I really haven't got a chance to watch NXT. I didn't really get a chance. You forget about me or something. Oh, geez. I may have to cut this short to go get Lily.
That's okay. It's been kind of a clusterfuck on my end anyway. So. What do you got going on tomorrow at like noon?
Nothing. I'll be working from home, so I mean working, but that's about it.
Because I'll be at work, and
I
hop on.
I mean, we could redo this whole episode, I guess. But I mean, there really isn't that much. I mean, Backlash is coming up this Saturday, so I guess the only thing we could really do is preview Backlash. So I guess if you want to do that tomorrow at noon, we could do that. Yeah. Never mind. I don't have to go get her. We could just preview Backlash now.
No, it's up to you.
No, we're good. She thought I was bringing the car to her, but Katie went to bed, so I didn't get a chance to bring the car to her. So, but yeah, like I said, I didn't really watch AEW. I didn't really, so I don't really have much to say about anything going on there, especially, different from what we said last week. And I didn't get a chance to really watch NXT this week because my life has been a little crazy. But I did enjoy Monday Night Raw. I thought even SmackDown on Friday was pretty good. Definitely have a lot of stuff coming up, but I was going to kind of get to most of that when we talked about Backlash. But is there anything else you can think of? I'm also kind of behind the Dark Side of the Ring, so I haven't really watched that. I think I was like halfway through the Eddie Gilbert episode.
I'm trying to think. I did go back and watch Eddie Gilbert. I'm pretty much caught up now. I just watched the Billy Jack Haynes one last night.
Okay.
I knew some stuff about him or whatever, but man, I finally one of these episodes I kind of learned some new stuff, and that one was pretty crazy.
So I know they talked about. I know they talked about it a little bit in the Vader episode, but have you heard JBL's version of when Vader was underneath the stage when the pyro went off?
I have not. Like, I've been meaning to. Started listening to that episode, but
I
got through
it. So JBL goes, he was faking it the whole time. He said, I was sitting in the locker room. It was me, Leon, Terry Funk, and Colonel Robert Parker, all sitting in the locker room. Funk and Parker went on for about 2 hours about how they're going to go and sit underneath the ring or sit underneath the stage when the pyro goes off so it blows their head off and they could sue Vince for millions of dollars. And then they sat there and talked about how they would spend that millions of dollars. And he said that he got so annoyed with the conversation that he eventually just walked out of the room because they were going on forever talking about how they were going to go underneath the stage and let the pyro blow them up so that they can sue Vince for all this money. And then he goes out and finds Leon on the floor right by there. And he's like, what the hell is Leon doing? And they're like, he was under the stage when the pyro went off. And he goes, I just start busting out laughing. And they're like, no, this is serious. He's really hurt. He's like, he's not hurt. He goes, I run back to the dressing room and I get Terry Funk and I'm like, Terry, Leon's laying on the ground. He was underneath the stage when the pyro went off. He's doing your gimmick. And Terry's like, what? He goes, Leon, he's doing your gimmick. He went under the stage. He goes, he wasn't trying to sue Vince. He was just trying to go home. Leon hated being on the road. He didn't want to be there, so he did that to try to go home. And he goes, so then, the next week he comes into the locker room and everybody's laughing at him. And he goes, guys, seriously. I was under the ring, the pyro went off, and I swear to you, my heart stopped. I had to pound my chest to get my heart going again. And he goes, Ron Simmons looked at him and goes, so let me get this straight. You were dead. And he goes, man, fuck you guys. And he stormed out of the locker room. Dude, I can't do it justice, though. JBL telling the story was fucking fantastic. But, he legitimately did that because he heard Funk and Colonel Parker talking about it, and he was trying to get sent home. So he went under the stage when the pyro went off. What the fuck, man?
That's incredible.
Oh, man. All right, we'll do a quick run through on Backlash, and we'll talk about some of the matches, and then we'll wrap this episode up, and then we'll be more prepared for next week. All right, so let's see what we got on the card. Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. You got a lot of stuff going on with Jade Cargill. You got Naomi involved in this. I think maybe Tiffany retains this time, but I could see her losing it in the near future. What about you?
Oh, yeah, she retains.
Okay. All right. Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Do you think Dominic holds on to it, or are they going to put it on Penta?
No, I think Dominic keeps it, yeah.
Dominic keeps it? Okay. Yeah, I can see that. There's still a lot of different things going on with Finn.
I'm obviously delayed to you. Aren't I?
Yeah, you're a little bit delayed. I'm curious to see where this thing with AJ and Finn goes. Oh, jeez. We're never going to finish this episode. This episode's going to be called Start and Stop. The story of the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast.
It won't even let me leave, so I was just there right here. I don't know what's going on.
It's going to catch up with itself, and randomly you're just going to disconnect out of nowhere. I'm curious to see. There was a little bit of a tease with Finn and AJ Styles on Raw, and I heard maybe I'm wrong, but I heard WWE Gimmick Minute the WWE filed a trademark. Dude, I don't know. We're off the rails. WWE filed a trademark on something Bullet Club related. So could they be building some sort of Bullet Club with Finn and AJ? But if that's the case, why'd they let go of the Good Brothers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, cool. All right, good story. We'll talk more about that later. The United States Championship match: Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Damian Priest in a fatal 4-way. I can see Solo costing Fatu the match.
Yeah.
Solo was trying to take credit for Jacob Fatu's success. I can see maybe Priest or McIntyre coming away with it, only because Solo finds a way to cost him. But yeah, anyway.
Sure.
All right. Gunther versus Pat McAfee should be a fun match. I think Gunther will probably win, but they got Pat McAfee on the card, so good for them. Becky Lynch will probably win the Women's Intercontinental Championship from Lyra Valkyria because too many baby faces have championships these days. And I'm going to guess Randy Orton's going to lose to John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. But I feel like somebody's going to help John Cena win. Like there's going to be another, Truth is going to help Cena win. Okay, this is the only thing I want to ask you about, and then we'll wrap up the show. Is this John Cena championship run going to end in December with R-Truth beating him for the World Heavyweight Championship?
No.
You don't think that there's a story where R-Truth becomes Cena's underling and works and helps him win these matches, only to find out that Cena was using him, leading to them having a match and R-Truth defeating his childhood hero, John Cena, to become the Undisputed Heavyweight champion?
500 million to 1 odds.
But how great would it be if it happened, though? Give Truth his flowers. Because you know what I mean. He might be champion for 24 hours, but it would just be great to see him do it. The unlikeliest of heroes.
I got you, but I mean, I don't think. Yeah, but I mean, is somebody gonna break? John Cena just set the record for most world title wins, and then you're gonna have R-Truth break his. Beat him.
That's true. I mean, you'd probably want to give it to somebody that you're building long term, but I don't know, man. I just think the story could be told and it could be a lot of fun. But what if Truth is like the guy? What if Truth wins Money in the Bank by accident or something like that, and he's holding it so nobody can cash it in on John Cena, and he has that Money in the Bank contract, and he's the last guy.
I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. It'd be a fun little thing to see.
Here's my question. Well, here's my question for you: does Cody come back at Backlash?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think, because I don't think Orton's going to win. So unless he somehow costs Orton the match.
I don't think either.
Huh? What'd you say?
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So unless he somehow costs Orton the match, whether it's by accident or on purpose, and it leads to something with them, but I don't know. I think Cody's gonna probably stay away. I would guess until the SummerSlam build. Like I feel like he's gone pretty hard since he came back from his pectoral tear. So giving him a few months off, I don't think is let's miss Cody Rhodes for a little while. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I need him gone for a little bit to actually miss him to want him back. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So I'm gonna say no, and I won't be shocked, if they did something with they didn't have Logan Paul and Jey Uso on here, because that's going to be a match too at Backlash, I think. So I'm surprised that CBS.com doesn't have that on there, but yeah, I think Logan Paul and Jey Uso for the World Championship is supposed to be on Backlash. Maybe I'm wrong, but because right now there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess there's 6 matches without that, so maybe not. Huh. And they're legit all singles matches, or they're all singles matches except for the U.S. Championship one. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to have to go get Lily, and I'm out of things to talk about anyway, and our connection keeps failing and dropping with you. So somehow we got 50 minutes out of this episode, so I'm just gonna be happy with that and call it a day. So we'll see how it ends up when it's all said and done. But I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hey, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode.
Idea, because like for the last 15 minutes, I've been talking and delayed.
You are super delayed because you just said that, and you responded to something I said 40 minutes ago. So we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the chaos, and you'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have things in line a little bit better. Kevin's laughing at what I said 10 minutes ago. But we will hopefully be back next week with less.
No, I was laughing in real time.
Okay, less connection issues. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. For Kevin, I'm Jason, reminding all you out there to be a fan. Always live your gimmick. Goodbye, everybody.